Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to the platform of 101 Incredible Women of Pakistan, a platform which is curated to bring forth all the exemplary work which is carried forward by the women of Pakistan. Today my guest is Huma Fakhar. She is the CEO of Global Map Services. Initially, she has completed her qualification from Cambridge University in marketing, investment and other fields of finances. Then she established her name, rather well established her name in the field of export. Let's go and meet her and discover how she had been able to manage a lot of work amicably. Assalamu alaikum, Huma.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Thank you very well.
Huma, even though I have a lot of things to ask you and we
Ji.
have got a very limited time, so I'll be asking you those particular questions which are actually, popping up in my mind and I will be bringing forth towards you.
Sure.
Huma, when you started yourself, obviously way back, the scenario in Pakistan, it was comparatively difficult. I will not use the word different, rather I will be saying with meager resources and the ladies coming out for the business and औरतों का जो एक specific image है. So can you please compare that specific time when you started and now? What is the comparison?
I think the biggest difference is the mindset.
Right.
At that time, the mindset of sending your daughters abroad was rather challenging. And I don't remember out of my, circles how many ladies were going at that time.
Right.
Today, I don't know any household where girls aren't going. Every household is encouraging their daughters to study, and not just study but to work.
And what made your parents send you abroad?
I think
Why
it
were
was
they
my
being so
my
confident?
persistence. I think it was my persistence. Of course, like most families, they had their own plans, settling down the girl and all
Right.
that. But I was persistent, and I think at some point they did realize that I had.
At that time, do you had any set goals that I want to do and I have to come back with this, this?
I think my first goal was to get educated because I was a sports person and at the same time a reader. So I had to, both the balances. The sports made me tenacious, so I don't give up easily. And my reading made me knowledgeable enough to understand that even at that age, that nothing was more important than education. And I had not realized at that time कि education के बाद का agenda कैसे set करना है. But I knew I wanted to get educated and create a scenario where I am not a dependent on anyone. And also it was a very conscious decision that doesn't matter man or a woman, I have to have my livelihood. I should be responsible for myself.
And that concept of yours, it sounds very, for me it's like very tempting, and every girl whosoever is born in any part of the society, every woman or every girl, they want to do that. But was there any point that you thought, nahin, it's not going to work, or it's going to be very difficult for me, rather I'll be settling, getting married with some very reasonable person and have my easy path to follow?
I think till now, honestly, I've never had that feeling.
Right.
And I tell you, it is not only what I feel, it is not only positive thinking that I'm positive and I'm going to make it happen. It is also responsible thinking. I think, however I have led my life was very responsible, very conscientious. And I think that keeps you going. To just have a notion, to do things, become independent, that was never my agenda. I think I've done it all very responsibly. I've not, after having even earned a level financially and otherwise, I don't think I ever floundered in a way which would have made me sound irresponsible or sound a woman, an independent woman, not from this society. I'm very well aware of our values and I absolutely admire and respect our values. I think our strength is in our values. When we go abroad, when we interact with other people, as an exporter, when I go abroad, of course, they always take me as a Pakistani lady exporting, but that does not mean I behave or ape in a way which is not us, our value system, our society. And that's where I say I've been very responsible, and I have tremendous pride not only in being Pakistani but also in our value system.
Beautiful, I mean, beautiful words. Huma, do you believe in giving second chances?
Second chances in what sense? At
Like
work?
at work, when you have had been doing anything and sometimes we are not very happy with, or we think that it could be even more better, so I'll give it a second try. Or you are always very well prepared, I have to do it. I mean, before even starting, you always assure of what you do.
I think it's life and it has its ups and downs, and sometimes it takes more than you would have liked it to. And so I don't call it a second chance, but I am persistent enough to follow it through.
So Huma, you were a very good, I mean, you were very much into reading and everything. Do you, if I'll give you a chance that Huma, you have to write your biography. So what name will you be giving to that biography of yours? Any title of the book you ever thought of?
I haven't really thought of a book. When there was a point when someone was considering it, but that was, I think, my not the human side of me, but the business side of me as a woman in this country, and as an exporter, taking Pakistan abroad as Pakistan's ambassador. That is the story that I would like to tell. How easy it was in some ways and how difficult it was to market Pakistan with all the things that have happened. अगर आप देखिए, शुरू से Pakistan has had its issues. Nationalization हुआ, फिर एक point आया where the Afghan war took away our resources. Then the war on terrorism did not give us much, did not offer us much on the global stage, and things have continued. And then if you're into an industrial business, the buyers cannot come because the travel advisories aren't good, or the visa regime is sometimes restrictive. So I think that is the kind of story I want to tell, where the resilience of the people of Pakistan and the businesses of Pakistan does not give up. We continue in the face of whatever comes. And I think, yes, resilience would be the word, and especially not mine, but of my country.
Zabardast. And I'm sure that whosoever is watching us right now, they must be looking forward to read more and more about every tiny little detail. Acha, Huma, if I will be asking you that you went abroad, you had your degree from there, and when you came back, it must be very easy for you to have a very good job and to have a very handsome amount of money in hand by the end of the month. But you chose to set your own specific circle, your orbits. You set your orbits. And business के बारे में जो मैंने सुना, obviously I've never done it in my life, लेकिन it's a very risk-taking thing और उसमें चीज़ें बहुत मुश्किल होती हैं. तो why again you thought कि मैं अपना export का business करूँ? Again export के business की अगर हम बात करते हैं, मेरे ज़हन में ज़्यादा I can relate it to not with any female, all male. I mean, if I can name them, all males will be striking to my mind and revolving. And you started your own export thing. Why not job?
I think from the very beginning I was very clear. किसी ने सिखाई थी बात उस वक्त, and very good, उन्होंने कहा, and that's what I'd like to tell every young person if they can, किसी के शॉपिंग मॉल पे खड़े ना हो, अपनी रेडी लगा लें, जो मर्जी बेचें, बट अपनी रेडी को शॉपिंग मॉल बनाएं, but don't stand on other people's malls. And I never wanted to do that. I don't want anyone paying my salary. I knew I had the confidence I can churn it out. And I think it takes everything out of you. It takes everything out of you. And as a woman, it did. But every bit was worth it. The learning, organizing your business, and the learning, taking it abroad, I think it's carved my character. I don't know, एक job जिसमें मुझे handsome salary after Cambridge की degree मिल जाती, I don't know if that was for me. I was cut for taking this beating, and I think I I cherish it. It's done wonders to me.
It's
And
quite obvious when you speak. It's very much evident. It's reflecting from every word, whatever is coming, you're saying, it's coming our way. Huma, when you went abroad and you were talking and dealing with so many men, of course, when you're exporting different type of community team members that are coming towards you, and they must be floating you questions, deals, and there are so many things to talk and deal with. And again, a woman coming from Pakistan, I mean, which they are racist as well. I mean, most of them they are. So how you dealt with that? Or
I think
did you get that feeling that they are racist, or you were able to get good people?
I think no. I think they have been very, very kind. They've been very, very respectful. But देखिए इसमें एक और चीज़ भी होती है. पहली चीज़, as a woman, when you're proud of Pakistan, when you're proud of your value system, I think everyone respects when you respect your roots. Number one. Number two, I never go and talk of export, which is rice in my case, as a woman, or for asking for a sympathy. It's a product, and my product has to be best to be sellable. And so the quality of my product should be defining my work and my anything else. I think when you put all that together, then there's very little room for any disrespect or difficulty. Yes, the only difficulty that I've had is marketing Pakistan. You know, September 11th ke baad, war on terrorism, all those things, that has made marketing Pakistan very difficult. And I think that is one perception, and that is a mission for me. That is one perception that I want to change for Pakistan. I feel we are a very industrious country. I feel our businesses are absolutely wonderful. They have still done wonders despite all the issues that we have in our country. And I would like to market our economy to the world. That's an agenda for me.
Well, when we were talking off camera, and you were saying that particularly you are exporting rice. So that concept actually touched me, because agriculture in Pakistan, mashallah, we are blessed with so many resources. We are rich in that. So I really appreciate that you chose one of that particular segment of Pakistan, which is very strong, and you worked on it, and mashallah, alhamdulillah, we are exporting it everywhere. अगर हम कोविड की बात करें, again you managed somehow, you must have managed, I'm 101% sure, very well with the situation that arose with that 9/11 traumatic incident. But after that, the COVID was another global crisis that just stood up, and it was very hard to deal with that. How did you manage कि जब COVID आया, during that, how did you sustain? और उसके बाद, when the COVID is now, alhamdulillah, we are over with that particular scenario, and now we are back on the firm footing.
I think when COVID came, of course, the personal tragedies were sad. People lost lives, countries suffered. But I thought, when I saw the disruption in the global supply chain, for example, there was no water in UK, US had no tomato ketchup, Australia had no wood. So, so many disruptions were happening. I just thought, whilst I kept on my work, I also thought this was an opportunity to expand. I worked, I consolidated my work, and I also thought I need to expand into more markets. So I took it as an opportunity to work harder. I spent a lot of time in the UK.
Was it difficult because all the borders, they were closed?
But Zoom had come in.
Oh, right.
And Zoom was such a blessing. And in any case, I spent a lot of time in the UK. And I think sitting there, interacting, getting the exposure, gave me a great deal of new vistas to think about what else can be done with my rice and as part of a new business. And at one time, many years back, about 13 years back, I had a private equity, and it was UAE based, and I had shut down later on because I was focusing on rice. And I think it is COVID that I've revived it again, and we are investing in the food sector again. So for me, it was a time to consolidate, look for new markets, look for new businesses, and I think it's done wonders.
Amazing. Huma, you're working for, like, we are facing the flood is in Pakistan, devastated effects have casted on people. So you're working for them as well. So would you please elaborate on how, like for instance, I have met you today. If I want to pour in anything from my side, and how can you please guide me or the viewers who are watching us right now? How can we be part and parcel of your journey?
Gee, I think it's not one person's effort. We just have to find out who are the genuine NGOs who are contributing, and one must, plug in them and help as much as they can. The little exposure that I have right now of understanding what is happening in Charsada, because that is the area that I was trying to help. I think as of 2 days back, there was no water to drink and they were suffering. The ladies, because they had walked for hours and hours and probably days out of the flood areas, they didn't have enough clothes because their clothes had been, in terrible shape. So beddings and the rest of the stuff comes later. At the first instance, there's no clothing and there's no food. And I think that has started slowly to work. I understand Nestle and a few others, they're doing a wonderful job. They've sent their waters there, and they're supporting it through the Army Welfare. And as I've been told, on ground, Army Welfare is doing tremendous. So I think Army has put their spots around city here also in Lahore, where we can drop our clothes and beddings and food. So I think that would be a good starting point, which we can send through, because they have the resources in terms of logistics. They have the helicopters, they have the inroads.
So they can access to the areas where others can't.
They can reach the areas and they can reach faster. And people need food. I mean, I was looking at videos because having very keen interest in the rural sector, and then of course livestock, I was seeing how starved the animals were when they gave them food. Just grass, but they were starving. So anything of that kind, I think speed is the game to save the people who are there, but they're hungry. So food and clothing should be our first priority. Our second priority, of course, because this level of devastation, no one can manage. No country in the world could manage this kind of devastation. But yes, we could have been better prepared.
In Pakistan, they always have that jazba in them that they are able to.
So we can do it. Absolutely. The jazba can make anything happen. And I think one is the jazba of our people. The other should be the jazba that the government and the decision makers should realize how important the dams are, how important it is to, in the face of climate change, how important it is to, make these things a priority. Exactly. Now there is no chance. And I liked the tweet that said, stop sleepwalking. Today it is Pakistan, tomorrow it's going to be your country. So I guess let's stop sleepwalk. I think the people of Pakistan, they don't sleepwalk. They are resistant people, they survive. But the decision makers should stop sleepwalking and please rise to the occasion, both to the suffering and also climate change. That's utterly important. And I would also like to appeal, taking this opportunity, you see, one is the relief work. That the international community has really supported us, and they're flooding in with all the support to the affected areas. The other thing is to create support for Pakistani businesses in a way where they can provide jobs. There will be so much suffering post the COVID. We will need to provide jobs. And you see, governments don't provide jobs, businesses do. And I would request countries or regions like the European Union and countries like the US and China, including Russia, that please give our businesses the markets enough, whether it is supporting us with the GSP Plus or other such regional arrangements where we are able to provide jobs and at least, if not go higher, at least bring our country back, which as of today is probably 20 years back post the flood. So I really appeal that there is some regional pockets that can be considerate enough to our businesses, so our businesses are able to put our country back, whatever
Very
time
well
frame
said.
we can.
Very well said. It's beautiful. It was
Thank you.
lovely talking to you,
Thank
Huma.
you. Thank you
Knowing
very
so
much. It's a pleasure.
Information that you always wanted to have. Apart from what informative talks, conversation we had brought forth, I was actually clinged to your journey. I mean, every woman, I believe, in Pakistan, whether she's living she's born in a city or village or any part of the country, every woman on planet Earth, in Pakistan, globally, they want to come out and they want to do wonders. And after meeting you and knowing you, I think that your story and the steps you have had been telling us, I'm sure that everyone will be having enough courage to come out and follow their dreams.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure.